Welcome, everybody. Let's make sure that we're live here. Welcome to the entire group. It looks like we're live. Awesome. What a wonderful day. I wanted to just say hello to some of you that are here. I'll say hello to Alfred, Allison, Amanda White, Gemma Church, Joe, Kitten X, TLC, Lana Lee, 24, Mark LaRue, Master Creation, Michael Crafts, Nadira Rahman, Paula Hannah, Rana, Sherry Sunshine. Good to see moderators here. TT, Talia, Stick in the Mud. Good to see you, Stick, as always. Tracy Pratt, Victoria Cunningham, just to name a few. Hello to Utah. I see Wisdom's Wildcard has come in. Good to see you, Wisdom's Wildcard. Vicky, good to see Vicky. Vernon Brinker, Neela, Preston, Suzanne Ritter, Maurice Moore, Nancy Smith, good to see you, Nancy. Werner Rodriguez, Mr. Bone Jangles, good to see Mr. Bone Jangles here. Marzina Marzurek, Susie Van 22, Kimmy Moss, Tracy Invernizzi, good to see Tracy. Moderators, thanks so much for everything that you've done this past year and everything that you will do this coming year. So I wanted to just be able to talk to you guys about this past year, because for the past few days, I've really tried to take it easy and just meditate on what's taken place. Now, I don't put a whole lot of value on celebrations like New Year or anything like that, because to me, the year, to me, it's a financial celebration. It's the beginning of a new year, and many companies have different fiscal years that they start with. Many companies have 4th of July as their fiscal year beginning. So it depends on how you actually look at the year beginning and ending as to how you celebrate it. So I don't put a tremendous amount of value in any specific day as being a new year. To me, it's a new year every single day. So I wanted to just talk to you about it, because as I've been meditating upon this past year, I find it incredible at how much has actually happened. And it's remarkable, because I didn't actually start this channel. I mean, I started the channel in December. Good to see Best Damn Podcast here. Good to see you, John. Love much. I started this channel in December of last year, and I released a few anonymous videos. And then I was compelled to remove the mask and speak directly. And that came in February. So it actually hasn't been a full year since I actually unmasked. So considering that, it's been about 11 months, and the amount of events that has taken place inside that 11 months is remarkable. And the amount of people that have come to know this truth, to me, is astounding. As we stand right now, this channel has, I'll just hit refresh to make sure I've got the accurate count. We have 48,870 subscribers on this channel. And on the backup channel, the Global Witness Revival channel, has just under 15,000. That's pretty amazing. And considering that the amount of people that have actually subscribed and then unsubscribed, I've had well over 150,000 people subscribe. But once people get to some of the difficult messages, they unsubscribe. It's kind of like the Flat Earth video, having that discussion. I think I probably lost 600 subscribers, but gained 1,800. So I'll lose subscribers when you say something that is difficult for them to digest. Now that's, to me, that's always disappointing, because it's disappointing because the loss of information or the loss of truth that somebody will lose because of one little thing that they don't like or disagree with, that's challenging for them to listen to. Now, I can promise you that those same challenges that you have when you hear those things that are so hard to hear, I also had. So I fully understand it. Good to see the Cummings here. Happy New Year to you as well. And it is, yes, cognitive dissonance. It's a difficult thing. You just absolutely, you want to come out of your skin when you hear certain things. But as you come to know this truth at a greater degree, you find out that that must happen, that you have to power through those things, even if it goes against everything that you ever thought were true. It's so important that you just power through it, because you will go through different machinations of believing something and then disbelieving something, and then believing it again and then disbelieving it again. It's okay. It's okay. That's why it's important that you don't judge it. No, I'm not a Freemason, not even close, not even slightly. I'm tearing down the things that the Freemasons have established. So no, I'm not. But yeah, John, put it on the shelf. It's important that we put these things on the shelf. And because once you come back to it, you're going to find other things that prove that thing far more legitimate. So just put it up on the shelf and recognize that there isn't any box that you can put these truths in. People try to say, oh, this is Gnosticism, or you're a Luciferian, or you're this, or you're that. All of those things are those boxes that people attempt to put you in so they can damage the rest of everything that you've said. Somebody wants to label you or to cast you as a specific type of character. Now, this past year has seen multitudes of attacks on myself and on you. Many of you by your own families. Fortunately, I've always expected those attacks. I've already gone through the family side of my iteration of coming into this truth. Many of you are just going through it now, where your families think you're crazy. Some of you, I get emails from you where your family's trying to lock you up. They're trying to put you in the crazy house because they think you've lost your mind. And as a reminder, always know that they did the same about Christ. So you're in very good company. So I wanted to remind you that over the past year, not only have we gained that many subscribers, but I've had multitudes of people come in and support. I've seen people fall away. I've seen people come in from the beginning and never fall away and grow in strength and wisdom and knowledge and teach these things to others at levels that always inspires me. Every time I see somebody speaking these truths to someone else, it inspires me. And on the new channel, on the Revival channel, there are a lot of new people coming into these truths because I'm uploading the videos in sequence in almost the same order. I'm actually changing some of the order of it. And people are just coming into the truth. It's like the same, I'm experiencing the exact same questions, the exact same attacks, the exact same things that took place before. So it's an entirely new set of people that are coming through that channel. So I would say probably out of the 15,000 that are there on the new channel, it's probably, I'd say, about 10,000 new subscribers. And it's remarkable that they are just seeing these truths and watching their lives being transformed. That is the fruit. The transformation of their lives is so beautiful to watch and to listen to. And the only unfortunate part about it for me is that now I have twice the amount of emails coming in. So it's difficult, and I'm putting together a informational website that will primarily be videos, study tools, lots of different documentation that I will post. The website is in the process of being built as we speak, and I'm getting some people that do know how to work on WordPress that will help be just not moderators, but also help build out the site. And the reason why I'm putting this site together is, we already have Discord and we already have the globalwitness.me. Those are more community people having conversations and being able to talk to each other. This will be 100% informational, not a whole lot of interaction. Yes, there'll probably be comments on there, but it's going to be more for me to post information. So I will also post here where through that site and also through this link here, you can get email updates. So this allows me to be able to communicate with you directly and send you updates on things that are taking place and things that we're planning through that email sign up. Your information's never going to be sold. I'm not going to sell your contact information. It all goes through a third party, which is called MailChimp. And MailChimp makes sure that you always have the ability to click an unsubscribe button and to remove yourself. So with that said, I wanted to also remind you of the things that we've experienced. Witness in the Desert. Many of you have watched that take place. That was funded by you specifically. Also the funding by you of the Christmas drive for the Navajo families, which went absolutely amazing. I have lots of pictures and things that I am assembling. Obviously, we're being very, very cautious about exposing those families to ridicule amongst their own people too, because many people are sympathetic towards the park services. So we are being very careful about what we do show. I would love to be able to bring you lots of videos and lots of pictures of everybody opening their gifts. And I have some of those, some of them riding the bikes in the valley. It was a beautiful event. And they are so very thankful. And we will continue to try to help those families inside that park and continue to try to raise funds for them, because they have, they don't live in places like you do. They live in literal mud huts. So it's very, very nice to be able to give these families things that they've just never had the opportunity to get some of the things that we've been able to provide them. So I wanted to be able to talk to you guys about all of the events that have taken place and all of the building. I mean, building the social websites in and of itself has been amazing. This has been just in the past year. We have thousands of subscribers on those, thousands of people in the Discord chat servers that are constantly being able to talk to each other and uplift each other and also help educate one another. And I'll try to get to some of the questions that are being posted in here a little bit later on. But I wanted to tell you what the plans are for this next year, because this is where the rubber is going to meet the road. And I've always felt led to not just have this ministry, but also have a place where people could come and receive more of a refinement in studies, deeper studies and refinement. Now, I'm going to call that a refinement center. So it's a retreat center. And that's what I'm looking to fund and put together for this year. And this would be a retreat center that would be able to house probably no more than 12 people at a time. That's not including myself and Malia and other people that would be there helping to make this center function. Now, I'm looking for places that would be appropriate. There's a couple places that I've already found. And what this would be is for people like you, ones that need to come, that want to come and go through an experience of refinement. But I'm going to tell you right now that that experience of refinement is not easy. So this will not be for those that are looking to come and just receive lots of hugs, because that's not what it's about. In order for you to get through the things that you necessarily need to power through, it's kind of like me going to prison. That was a refinement. Not saying that we're going to be building a prison, but it's going to be a place that that the tough stuff is going to be brought out. So if I've often said to people, if I spoke to you about every single thing that came out of your mouth and told you where that was coming from, it would be hard. I did this on my own. I went through this on my own, and my refiner was the Father, and he beat my ass against every single wall. Every single thing was burnt out of me that didn't need to be in me. So I can tell you right now, it won't be easy, and I won't necessarily be liked by those people going through it. But I can promise you that after you've gone through it, you're going to understand the purpose of it. And so, yes, it will be a time of refinement and deep study. As far as will it cost money? No, it won't cost money. It will be through a process where I will speak to each person individually, myself and Malia, and find out just where they're at, because many people aren't prepared for this. They might think they are, but they're not. So there will be a stage and time where you'll reach that place where you need it, where you have to have it. And also it will be a place where we can teach people to do what I'm doing right now and help build a channel for them and an outlet along with us. And we'll have a studio where we can also broadcast and do things just like this, and that we can teach people to have these conversations and teach in a way that needs to be taught to the specific people that they've been called to speak to. Some people that will be speaking to women that have experienced being raped in the past. Some will be to former addicts or current addicts. Some will be to people that have been to war, killed people, and have PTSD. Everybody has the sheep that they're intended to speak to. That's what the scripture is when Christ speaks of that. My sheep will hear my voice. Good to see Mav here. Maverick, go ahead and post another video. Put my name in it. I know you like that. I love you much, brother. So this is going to be a really wonderful time. Now, this is the center will not cost money. If somebody wants to come and wants to help support it, well, then so be it. We will try to find, because there are people that want to support this ministry, but I don't want to take something that I don't need yet. Right. So I don't want surplus laying around. I don't want a bank account full of money. Never did. I want to be able to have exactly what we need at any given time, never a surplus, because that surplus then you try to maintain. And so all of the things that lock up ministries within the financial elements, I want to avoid. But this isn't easy. So it's not easy to have something built, not monetize a channel, and not do this, and just rely solely on the Father's speaking to people that are intended to help support it. So that is probably the most challenging thing for me out of all of this, is that how do you build something that requires finances in this world? Well, I believe that the Father will provide those things. If he asks me to do something, thus far, he's always provided everything I needed, every single step of the way. So somebody kick Forrest Dump out of there, okay? Dump Forrest. Appreciate that. Sorry, there's no place for, not on this channel, for hate. There's no place for it. So I don't need to, I don't hate you, but I certainly won't allow you to come into this channel and to bully on people. It's just not going to happen. So, so with that said, that's going to be the focus. And I'm going to begin speaking to individuals that want to, that believe that they would want to attend. And obviously, once we know where this place will be, there is a piece of property that I've found that already has some outbuildings and already has even RV pads and hookups. So if people wanted to come and they bring their RV, things like that. The email I will put here in the chat box. So it's dbroes@gmail. If you feel that you are somebody that would be prepared to come to such a center, then by all means, send me that and put refinement in the subject so I know exactly what you're writing about. And yes, we will need worker bees. We will need people that cook. We will need people that can care for people medically. So nurses, things like that. We will also need people to that have technical skills, that can teach technical skills, like doing YouTube channels, making videos. We will also be, then once we know the facility that we have, then we will know the needs. So all of this will be ministry driven. So the people that would come there, I do not think that anybody is going to be, I won't be, Malia won't be, nobody will be taking a salary or anything like that. It would be paying for the necessary goods. As long as I have food in my mouth, I'm happy. So paying for the food, paying for the living quarters, paying for internet, for electricity, paying for mortgage if there is a mortgage. Unless we can get property donated, but obviously, those are pretty large expenses. If somebody is going to donate property, I've had people offer it, so just not in places that would be appropriate. So now with that, the people also that would be coming out of this refinement center, some would be specifically taught to go help manage and oversee community centers. Community centers like the one that we have in Angels Camp. So that could provide the necessary leadership and skills to help disputes within the camp, because you're always going to have things like that. So also, I would suggest that if people, yes, we are going to be starting this in Arizona primarily for the climate. The climate here, particularly in around the Prescott area, Sedona, it's fairly mild winters and fairly mild summers. So the center would probably be, I'd like for it to be in the Sedona area or Prescott. There are many camps and things. If any of you ever been to the Prescott area, there are camps here that have multiple buildings. They're on 50 acres. I would prefer it to be something like that. And what we could potentially do if that property was big enough that has other buildings, like some of the campsites that are out here. These are really kind of retreat camps. There's many of them here in Prescott. And if that is the case, we could also help fund the camp by leasing out portions of it to other groups that want to come, church groups or whatever. That also gives us the opportunity to have greater conversations with people and to share this information with those groups coming in as well. So that is the plan. That is what we're trying to put together. Now, I'm sure that plan is going to be attacked by many people. They're not going to like it. But it will happen. I've already seen it. So everything that the Father has shown me always comes to fruition. So I don't have any doubt about that. And I would expect that some of the first people that would come now, obviously, I think that this would not be a coming there for a year. I think it would probably be where there are people that come for 30-day, people that come for 60 days, people that come for 90 days. And obviously that we would have the ability to have other people sponsor people to come, because obviously somebody coming, there's a requirement of food. There is a requirement of beds and in managing and maintaining that facility. So there will be some costs associated with that. Obviously, things still cost. So we'll figure that out, and I'm sure Father will provide that. But this year in review to me is If you doubt that anything can happen, then I think this last year show you that anything can happen, and that to expect the unexpected always, and to expect to learn something regardless of how bad it might seem. Always try to pay attention to everything, and to know that everything works for his good. Everything, even the bad. And so I just wanted to tell you all just how much I love you, just how much all of you have inspired me over the past year, how much that you show me in here. The love that I receive from you and people that have helped is, to me, overwhelming. It's just overwhelming. I can't begin to thank you enough, and to remind you that the next few years will be some of the toughest we will experience. But it is preparation for even tougher. So what I've seen is the most amazing beauty, but the most amazing hardships. You know, when you read in scripture that there is the great and terrible day, the great and terrible day, that in these things and everything, when Christ rises, the enemy rises. When the enemy rises, Christ rises. So as long as we live in this binary system, you're always going to see that. The more beauty, the more disaster. So this is where you have to be prepared, and to build yourself in a strength that you've never imagined that you could have. And that only comes from resting in Christ, knowing that he's in you, not external to you, that he's inside. And you want to wake that Christ up, that this consciousness that is growing is going to bring on the terrible. The greatness brings the terrible. So you just have to expect that. Stay strong in yourself. Know that there is a beautiful, beautiful ending to all of this. I can promise you one thing, that there is no version of this story. There is no version of this story that ends well for the enemy. None. So count on that. And I just want to express to you that the support that I will need, the prayers that I will need from you, will be incredibly important, that I need them. Keep me on your heart. Keep me in your prayers, because things are about to get tough. I love you all very, very much, and I can't thank you enough.